Alright. Hello. Welcome to my... Oh, let's turn that up. There we go. Welcome to my video about what I hope to see, what I think I might see in the Direct tomorrow. Now, the Direct is actually announced. We're no longer relying on what people say might be happening, which is nice, because nothing wrong with them, but their leaks can always be wrong. I was pretty sure it was going to be right, though, because we haven't had a Direct since last year in, what month would that have been, like September, November, something like that. Anyways, I'm just going to be playing Mario Kart World while I talk about it. That way you have something to watch. That way I have something to do. Just going to be playing like knockout tours. So, what do I hope to see? Well, I've got a long list of things I want to see, but are most of those things going to happen? No. So I'll still talk about them some, just not for as long. I'm also going to talk about things I think we most definitely will see, things I think we could see. Now first up, let's just do things that we are most definitely going to see. We are going to see some Rhythm Heaven Groove information, since they've given us almost none, and it's coming out fairly soon now, I think. I don't know. I don't really play Rhythm Heaven, so I haven't been paying much attention. But for Rhythm Heaven fans, this is great. They haven't had a game since, so I don't know, the 3DS. I feel bad that they haven't gotten any information about what the game's actually like, but I'm sure they'll have a whole bunch of information, and they're going to have a Nintendo Treehouse. They can cover it more during here in a few days. They're definitely going to cover Splatoon Raiders, because that's going to be their... I think that's going to be one of their largest summer releases other than Fire Emblem. If that comes out in the summer, which I think it probably will. But I don't really cover Fire Emblem much on here, so I don't play Fire Emblem and I don't care about Fire Emblem. However, I do care about Splatoon. Especially, I love their single player. It's so much fun. Like, I prefer their single player over their multiplayer. I know most people wouldn't say that, but I really enjoy it. I love Salmon Run, and I'm hoping this new game won't be quite as bad as I'm afraid it might be. Not that it looks absolutely terrible, but it still has plenty of room to be terrible. So I'm just kind of hoping that it won't be as bad as I think it could be. And we're definitely getting a trailer for this because it's coming out soon, and we don't know a ton about it. I'm hoping their story will be decent because we don't know much about it yet. Their mechanics, I don't know what they're gonna be like. Oh, weird. You know, like, I'm just excited to see where the game's gonna be going. Now, things that probably will happen. This game, Mario Kart World, will probably, even if it's not in this Direct, I hope it is, be getting a DLC or a large update. I'm guessing a DLC. It might not be this year, even. Like, we might not even get it announced this year, but I'm kind of hoping it will be announced this year and come out next year. There's no way it's coming out this year. This game was meant to be huge, and if they're gonna like, they would have announced it by now. So what do I want from that? Okay. For this game having a DLC, you can do so much. So much stuff. You know, obviously new courses, new characters, new carts, new stickers. But, you know, in those new courses have new free roam. Maybe give Rainbow Road a free roam. That should just be an update, actually. Jukebox mode, probably just a free update too, because this game has an amazing soundtrack. Although, with Nintendo Music existing now, I don't think they're going to put jukeboxes into most of their games anymore. Because they're just releasing them onto Nintendo Music. Let's see, what else do I want? I want, like, an ultimate sticker. Like, you got every single sticker, here's the final sticker. Or you got every single sticker, here's Gold Mario. You know, just something to make it feel like, hey, I can show off that I got everything. Somehow. Like, I was very disappointed when I realized that after getting every single P-switch, I mean, I didn't get every single P-switch, but when I learned that if you were to get every single P-switch, you would get nothing. Same with if you got every single free roam unlockable. So that made me really think they're probably going to have a DLC where they throw on a sticker for this, or a skin for a character, or a whole new character. Gold Mario. Especially because DK Bonanza is most definitely going to be represented in this DLC if they do create it. Because, as you may have heard, or seen, or whatever, Donkey Kong and Pauline both have one skin in this game. Every basic character has at least one skin. But characters like Bowser has 5. Toadette and Toad, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi have like 4 or something. Maybe 5, somewhere in that range. And DK, a much larger, well-known character, got 1. I understood Pauline. She's not well-known, but with him having a new game and him being famous and all of this stuff, I'm pretty sure they're just doing it in a DLC. They're probably going to have a new food item, or a few new food items, actually, where you can unlock new characters using that food item. I would not be surprised at all if they did that. Because, I mean, look at these food options. They have a lot, but there's so many different kinds of food in the world. World. They could keep going for forever. Like, there's so much you could do. So many new ways to introduce new skins and characters and carts. Also, I said I'd like an ultimate character or ultimate sticker. I would also like some like miniature ultimate, like you get this sticker for doing every single P-switch mission, and the sticker is just of a P-switch. Or here's one for doing question block panels, because I know I got all of those and I didn't get anything for it. And that was kind of disappointing because I went around and got every single question mark panel in the entire game just so that I could say that I had every single one. I don't even use the stickers I got from them. I use ones that represent things I've done. Also, I'd like to see some new coin ones and some new trick ones. Like, hey, I collected even more coins than was in the base game. Like in the stickers or whatever. I'd also like a way to track how many coins and stickers I have collected. Or not stickers, coins and tricks I've done and collected. Just because 8 Deluxe, you could track how many coins you had, and that was very helpful. I believe it was the same for Mario Kart 7 and the base Mario Kart 8. And that was really handy because you knew how far away you were from, you know, unlocking everything. I just, something simple like that would be nice. Also, Gold Mario fits perfectly with DK Bonanza, so if they are doing DK Bonanza themed DLCs, like I said, the entire game was based off of gold, so I think it would work very well. Now, I know I've talked a lot about this, but I really think a Mario Kart World DLC would be great, and honestly, I don't hate this game nearly as much as I did well, at first I was like, this game's great. Then I went, no, it isn't. And then they started updating it. I was like, I take that back. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with the game right now. I kind of like it. I would love to see sequels where they do even more stuff. Because there's so much you can do. Throw in a storyline. I love stories. Put stories into everything. Subspace Emissary, one of my favorites. Only issue with that game that made it not sell quite as well as other Smash Bros. Games was it was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You had to use the D-pad to do stuff, and I did not like that. Also, after having Melee, I think I've heard it was a big change between Melee and Brawl. I don't know what that big change was. I've never played Melee, but yeah. So I'd love another story mode like Subspace Emissary. I think that would be a great place to unlock characters and skins, but that feels a little far-fetched still. So maybe we can just hope for that in a sequel to Mario Kart World, which I would love to see despite popular demand to just completely get rid of this game. I think it's actually not that bad. I understand the intermissions get a little boring, but I kind of like the chaos in them, and you can go collect coins and prepare. It's always a lot of fun. So, that's about all I have to say about Mario Kart World DLC, unless I'm forgetting something, and I really hope I don't remember it because I don't want to talk about it. So, what else have I got? Oh, so there have been people saying, leakers saying that there's supposed to be something new with Switch Sports. I don't care if they're right. I don't care if they're wrong. I would love to see a, Switch Sports something like, I didn't think the game was terrible. I just think it needed more. Just, another game mode or two and a couple fixes here and there, just making the game a little bit better. Also do a little bit more offline progression, like, so that way when the online dies, it's not like I loved that they had unlockables online. My only issue was as soon as they kill the online, all of those unlockables are gone. That's why I hate about when companies hide stuff between their online modes, because if you don't play online, or if you don't unlock it before the online shuts down, you just lost so many opportunities to get free stuff. Like, I have Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, I can't progress now. There's just so much stuff I can't fill out the panels because no one can, well, people can street pass with me. It's just, it's so rare now because the system died. Anyways, back to, let's focus more on the Switch Sports idea. So, Switch Sports, I don't care if they make a DLC or a sequel or just even update. I don't care. Just make something cool. Do something with Wii Sports if you want. Like, I don't know. Something that makes it feel a little bit more like Wii Sports. Everybody loved Wii Sports. Wii Sports Resort was great. I would love to see them add in a flyover mode if they make a sequel. Or even if they just made a DLC or something. I loved that flyover mode where you flew in the airplane and it just explored the island. I loved looking for the checkpoints. They hid one in a volcano. Like, they hid them on islands that were far away. There were like 3 different spots you could spawn in. And as you progressed through the game, you could unlock the other 2 spots that you didn't start with. Overall, I just thought it was pretty fun. And I'd love to see something like that come back because they already have a little bit of a map. And I'd like to see that enlarged. And they've got plenty of room to make it larger too, so. That's most everything I have to say about Switch Sports. So, let's talk about Mario Maker. Now, there are so many games I would love a game for to make, like Zelda Maker. I don't think that would end well, but it's a fun concept. You know, I hugely want a Mario Kart Maker. If they can make that, their fans will be so happy. I will be so happy. I am one of their fans. Please make it Nintendo. Honestly, I don't see what could go wrong. Oh, and for a Mario Maker, I want 3D option. I want to make a game in 3 dimensions. I don't want it to be Super Mario 3D World on Mario Maker 2, where it was like, here's a 3D game. We had to completely change it to work on a 2-dimensional, to work in 2 dimensions. I wasn't too happy with that. It just felt clunky and annoying. If they do listen to me, make a 3D option, just make like a few basic ones. 64, Odyssey, 3D World, and on the far outside, maybe throw in Sunshine. We don't need any more 3D games than that, other than if you throw in Bowser's Fury, I will be happy. I love Bowser's Fury. Also just some returning items like Ice Flower would be nice. I kind of think it would be cool to see Ice Flower brought back. That's about all I have to say about that. So, on the topic of Mario Maker, what if they made another 2D Mario? I personally think there's a chance this could happen, not a huge chance. I don't think Mario Maker 3 is going to be happening, not anytime soon at least. Same with a Mario Kart Maker. But 2D Mario, it's not completely out of the question. Now, of course, I don't want it to be new Super Mario Bros. All over again. I don't know, it's just kind of boring, bland. I liked Wonder some. I didn't like them remodeling everything and adding in tons of new enemies that bugged me, but it began to actually grow on me. I was like, oh, this isn't actually that bad. And the Wonder Flower effects were so much fun. Don't really have any complaints about them. I love the talking flowers. If you do not like the talking flowers, it's okay. I understand. It's fine. It's not fine. Talking flowers, like, were my favorite part of the entire game. I was like, these guys are hilarious. And then I just watch as everyone is like, no, these guys are annoying. Can we please silence them? I was like, who are you? Why do you want to get rid of them? Now, they did make a Switch 2 edition of Mario Wonder, which makes me wonder, if they would actually want to, if they would actually have the time to create an entire new 2D Mario game after creating that DLC. But honestly, the DLC wasn't humongous. It was technically a Switch 2 edition, but whatever. I don't have it, but off of what I've seen of it, not the biggest thing ever. Just basically added on a few different ways to play multiplayer and a few assist mode options and a few bosses. That was about it. Oh, and if... Yeah, that is about it. So I feel like they could still be making one. I don't want to see one, though. I just feel like there's so many other things they could be working on with their time. But if they do, I won't be mad. Let's see, another Zelda game. Okay, so they're not gonna make one. I'm sorry, guys. If they make one, it's gonna not be great. If they make a good one, I will be shocked. Now, I don't have any evidence to back that up. It's not like I'm like, hey, their last game was 3 years ago. Yeah, no, that's terrible evidence. Like, probably wasn't 3 years ago. It's probably like 2 years ago, but whatever. That is, they have had time. I just refuse to acknowledge that they have had time. Echoes of Wisdom didn't look the best, and I don't want another Echoes of Wisdom. I want something cool. That I don't have much to say on this topic, actually. So we're just gonna move on. Ocarina of Time. Please don't remake it. Please remake Majora's Mask. Please, 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 please. I don't want another Ocarina of Time remake. And honestly, Majora's Mask is completely overlooked. It never got remade. And Ocarina of Time has been remade more times than Star Fox 64. Okay, that's a joke. But still, it's been remade like, what, twice? Once? Really? I gotta be missing some of the times. But there's so many great Zelda games out there. Like Wind Waker hasn't gotten a perfect remaster on Switch how I want it to be remastered because I don't feel like paying a giant monthly subscription to play, or a yearly subscription to play Wind Waker. Because, yeah, I don't have that kind of money. Like, no, I don't want to spend, what is it, like $80 a year just to play Wind Waker? And, I mean, they've got tons of other stuff on there too. I'd play it, but as soon as they shut down the online, I lose all my save data. So what's the point? Of course, that game's been remastered quite a few times, so they might not want to remake it. It's been remastered, if you're counting the Nintendo Switch Online version, like 3-4 times. I think it's 3. That's about all I have to say about Zelda remakes. So, something else. Smash Bros. We're not getting to Smash Bros, guys. Sakurai was working on Kirby Air Riders. We're not getting to Smash. But if we get Smash, I will party. I will be so happy. I don't even care if they cut out half the roster. Actually, they might need to cut out half the roster. It's getting way too big. I was getting stressed out. I was like, no, I can't find my character. I'd sit there for like a good minute or two. Where's my character? Before someone finally found him and was like, hey, he's right there. I'd be like, oh. Especially with all those DLC fighters. I couldn't keep track anymore. But if they do make another Smash Bros. Game, I want something big and flashy, a new mode. Specifically, I have an idea in mind. What would you think if they turn Smash Bros. Three-dimensional. Now, I'm thinking like Pokken Tournament DX style. Pokken Tournament DX, I love that game. Pokken Tournament, the DX just stands for Deluxe. So I don't know why I keep saying it. I loved playing that. Like, it had a decent story. I guess it was okay. But the fighting mechanics were what I'd always wanted to see from Pokemon. And then they just continued doing that style thing with ZA, and I think they're going to keep going in the future. Yeah, I would love to see Smash Bros. Do something like that, though, with a three-dimensional fighting. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be anything like, well, I guess it kind of does. I want it to be big. I want to see what they can do with it. Of course, may never happen. I'm starting to get bored of Smash. If Smash makes a story mode, I'll be happy. That's all I need. I just like stories. Just give me stories. What else is there? Let's see, I had... I had it for a second. What was it? I don't want Splatoon 4. Just gonna say that. I would be bored if they made a Splatoon 4. We already have Splatoon Raiders coming out, and Splatoon 3 is still running. I'm guessing they're not gonna announce one. I don't want them to. Let's see what I have written down here. Probably not going to be new Animal Crossing. I want to see... Most people are going to be like, what? But, Kid Icarus Uprising. I played it, and I never beat it, but I loved it. And then I set it down for a few years, and I came back, and I tried to play it, and I went, what in the world is this control scheme? And when I realized the answer to that the control scheme was not the best, I just set the game right back down and did not pick it back up. If they remaster it for Switch, they'll have an extra thumbstick, and that right thumbstick, could potentially save the entire game. Like, I would just remaster it. Come on, guys. It's not that hard. A new Kid Icarus game would be great, but let's be honest, we're not getting one of those. There's only 3 Kid Icarus games, and 2 of them are for the NES. So, yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing Kid Icarus anytime soon. And that's what I was thinking. New Star Fox game. With Star Fox having been in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and him having been getting a new remake of Star Fox 64 again. Luckily, I don't own 64, so I don't really care. Or any of their remakes. Yeah, I do care a little bit, because I was thinking about buying one of them. Also, the title? Ugh, no, please, please. Do not call the game Star Fox. There's already a game called Star Fox. The crew in the game is called Star Fox. The entire series is called Star Fox, and everyone always calls Fox McCloud Star Fox, so just stop using the word Star Fox everywhere. Sorry. So if they end up making a new Star Fox game, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's going to be announced in this direct, considering that the remake isn't out yet. But they could. They always could. Also considering that they didn't just make one large Star Fox Direct featuring both. I'd love to see the story about how Fox in the Super Mario Galaxy movie got sucked into that like spatial time rift or whatever they said it was. Like, how did that happen? I mean, we technically don't need an answer, but I think it would be cool if they made one. Now, here's something that we'll never get. But LEGO will always continue making these as long as they... Well, every time that they make a movie, which they don't make movies anymore, which is sad. But when they did make movies, they always made a video game based off of it. And with the first Mario movie, I was like, alright, let's see what kind of a game we get off this. And we got nothing. I mean, we got like Bowser's Fury with Super Mario 3D World, but that's not... That's not a Super Mario movie video game. And while I will probably never get my hope, I still think it would be amazingly cool to see like the Super Mario Galaxy movie video game. I know it's a long title, but I don't care. Also, what was that? Oh yes, another 3D Mario. We all want Super Mario Galaxy, or we all want Super Mario Odyssey, or in my case, we want Super Mario Galaxy Odyssey. I feel like it could work, potentially. Not great, but it could. No? Okay. They could announce a 3D Mario to get hype up for it before it launches next year. Maybe it'll launch next year. I think that's what the leaks are saying, right? I'm not gonna like... I'm not saying there's gonna be one anytime soon. I would love to see one. Bowser's Fury was so much fun. Mario Odyssey is so much fun. Super Mario 3D World so much fun. Super Mario Sunshine, I have barely played it and the mechanics seem terrible. But you still get the point. Like, most of their games are amazing, so why not make another one? You just had a movie. I mean, like, you had the big anniversary just last year. Like, you could still make something. The 3D Mario is now the question. But we don't know if it will... I just don't know if it will end up happening. Alright, Pikmin 5 or Pikmin 4, Switch 2 Edition. Never say the word Switch 2 Edition ever again, Nintendo. Please. Please. I do not like Switch 2 Editions. Most of them are incredibly boring. And it's literally just a graphics upgrade. Like, I'm not paying money for a graphics upgrade. No, I don't want that. I also don't want Pikmin 4 Switch 2 Edition because that would primarily be a graphics upgrade. And also I don't own Pikmin 4. Pikmin 5 could happen. I feel like we should wait another year or so before that. I did like that Pikmin 4 was a better game than the other Pikmins, at least in my opinion. Based off of what I've seen, I don't own any Pikmin games. I own 2 Pikmin demos. Does that count? Yeah, I don't have much say when it comes to Pikmin. I don't really care what they do with Pikmin. If they make a Pikmin movie... Huh, I hadn't thought about that until just now. A Pikmin movie. Huh. Oh, I completely forgot about something that they are most definitely going to be mentioning in the Direct. The Zelda movie. We have literally no trailers for it. We have like 3 images from like a year ago and the title screen, or the title, an image of the title written out in fancy letters from like 2 years ago. And they said they wanted to release stuff gradually. Well, it comes out next year. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna get more info. My hopes for the movie is that it will not be rated PG-13 and that it will not be an absolute failure. That is my hopes because I don't have much hope for it. When you make a live action, like, I don't want them to mess it up. I don't care. I don't even care if Link talks at this point. It would be weird, but you guys are just gonna. We're just gonna have to get used to it if it's probably gonna happen. If they put the words "Excuse me, princess" into that movie, I will be very happy. If you've never heard about "Excuse me, princess," it's from old TV show they ran for one season that didn't do the best, but within one season he managed to say the words "Excuse me, princess" like 20 times or something. And if you've seen Turtle Montage videos, you're probably like, ah, I know what you're talking about. Man, "Excuse me, princess" was so weirdly funny. If they ever bring that thing back, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? Thought this was an interesting idea. Kirby Air Riders came out, but it was not made by HAL Laboratories. That's the company who makes Kirby, if you didn't know. Which means HAL Laboratories has had plenty of time on their hands. The last game they made, I believe, would be Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That would be their last Kirby game. And I think it would be pretty cool if they went ahead and made another. Now, I would like to clarify, I'm talking about HAL Laboratory. I believe HAL Laboratory is completely owned by Nintendo, considering that their music is on Nintendo Music. But, I mean, Pokemon's on Nintendo Music, and no one really knows what's going on with them. So, I don't know. I'm not saying HAL Laboratory is like this separate company and that Kirby's a third-party game. Just want to clarify that really quick. I don't care if this upcoming Kirby game is 3D or 2D. I love Kirby either way. Now, while I would prefer a 3D, if they make a 2D, I'm going to be almost as happy. I loved Forgotten Land. I loved Planet Robobot for the 3DS. I loved Star Allies. They make the best games. And like I said, they haven't had a game in a little while other than that DLC for Forgotten Land. So I feel like they still could have something cooking up for us. I'd like to see that. Now, of course, I've been putting out a lot of big title games. If we get even a couple of these, it would be nice. I don't think we're going to get more than just a few tomorrow. And they're probably not going to come out until next year or the year after. I wouldn't be surprised if the Direct ends with like a new Mario game. They're not going to end with a Kirby game, no matter how much I want them to. They could. Nah, they're not going to end with that. They're going to end it with an announcement of some kind. Of something coming up. If they make a Kirby movie, you can make a movie out of anything. Kirby, no. You can make another TV show. I don't want a Kirby movie. Like, I just see it going wrong so fast. Just like giving Kirby a voice or something and ruining everything. No. Don't mess things up, Nintendo. Now, I've seen clips of their old show. It actually doesn't look that bad, surprisingly. Was it amazing? No, but what else? I already covered Star Fox. Oh, that scared me. I was like looking down and all of a sudden I see every like the screen start going black because everyone gets zapped. Like I said, maker games would all be cool. Now, this treehouse coming up. Oh, I did remember something. I'll go to that in a second. This Nintendo treehouse that is coming up after the Direct is probably going to be of some of the games they announce. Maybe a couple that we already know about, like Fire Emblem, Splatoon Raiders. Maybe, yeah, probably Rhythm Heaven Groove. I could see them doing those. So, oh, yeah, I was gonna say something. What was it? No, I forgot. What was it? I didn't have it written down either. Dang it. Maybe I'll remember, maybe I won't. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember, am I? Wait, I remember now. DLC for Pokopia. Pokopia is widely considered one of the best Nintendo Switch 2 games. I would agree with that. I mean, I might say DK Bonanza was better, maybe, but like Pokopia was amazing. Like Bonanza was great, but it still had flaws. Pokopia, it still had flaws, but they were like really minor flaws for the most part. Other than I felt like there were so many items you could never hold everything in your pockets, and so some of the items just looked way too similar. Like I needed to make an ice block, and I made a, or no, I think I needed to make a crystal block, and I almost made an ice block, and I went, nope, that's not it. And then I saw this other block that was also like blue and special looking, so I built that. And they're like, no, that's a third one. That's a third blue special looking block. That's like a crystal wall or something, and they have like 3 different brick blocks. So, you know, your pockets are always full. That wasn't fun. But they've made a great storage system, other than the fact that you couldn't keep it all in one place. Well, I guess you could. You could just make hundreds of storage units and dump everything into them. It'd be interesting if they made a DLC for it. Add in some new Pokemon, add in some new areas, add in some kind of mini story, expand on the story. I don't care. Their story was great too. Like it was basically Animal Crossing, but with a giant, amazing storyline. No spoilers, don't worry. I try not to spoil much on this channel, so I'm not gonna spoil any of the story, but. And they also hid the story in an interesting way. Instead of just flat out going, here's the entire story. No, they just like hid it all over the place. A little bit of story here, here's a little bit more story here. And you just literally walked around and picked up story. Like, that's so creative. Usually they put the story in as part of the storyline and force you to learn the story. And I just thought it was kind of interesting. Like, they didn't go for the usual, here's the story, and here's how the game worked. Like no. It was just completely separate. Even after I beat the game, the Professor Tangrowth, he just went, yeah, I wonder what happened. Even though you already knew the answer if you had been paying attention to all the little story clues. Because you were never required to go find those in order to beat the game. Which actually makes some of the stuff not make much sense. But that's about enough about that. And I think a Pokopia DLC could work great. The Pokopia fan base is definitely large. At this rate, they might make a sequel. I don't think they were planning on it, but after this, I want to see them just turn it into a straight-up sandbox like Minecraft. Just make it a giant open world. I love that. That just spawns stuff in randomly. That could be an interesting DLC, but I don't think they're ready for that. I think they need a whole new game for something that big. So that's most of what I have to say about Pokopia DLC. Oh yes, so Paper Mario. What was the last Paper Mario game? The 1,000-Year Door remake. Before that, I think it was Origami King. That was like mid-Switch or early Switch or something like that. We haven't gotten a nice Paper Mario in a while, and he usually comes in a little bit more often than he has been. Just saying, we could get a Paper Mario game. I'd be happy with that. Odds are slim, I know, but hey, throw Mr. Game & Watch into it. I never thought about that. Just he fits perfectly. He's already two-dimensional. He's literally practically made out of paper. Put Mr. Game & Watch in your next Paper Mario game. It'd be great. That was kind of random. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Not Switch Sports. Another Mario sports game. I don't want it. I don't want a Mario sports game unless if it's something out of the ordinary. Like baseball or I guess I might be fine with soccer. I just don't want tennis or golf. Is my thing. And don't you dare try to make like a... No, they just made a tennis game. I don't have to worry about that. But I just want a new sport. American football. Just do something new and interesting. Or get this, bring back Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. It just vanished. They're like, oh, by the way, Mario's not teaming up with the Olympics anymore. Bye. And Sonic was like, well, we want to. So they started making t-shirts. But no more games. They're just gone. Like, I get Sega and Mario are starting to not be on the best terms again. Potentially, it could just be friendly rivalry. But it could be a little bit more than that, especially having just created another racing game. As Nintendo launches 2 racing games, Sonic comes and releases a 3rd racing game. Actually, Nintendo's the one releasing the 3rd one, but you get the point. Like, there are 3 kids racing games all launched in half a year. Yeah, I'm sure they all were fighting for the glory at the awards. Well, I don't think Kirby Air Riders made it to that awards. I think they're in next year's, which is really smart move by Nintendo. Still can't believe Mario Kart World won that category. I'm not happy with that personally. I'm kind of mad. I wanted Sonic to win. I loved Sonic Cross Worlds. Anyways, I got way off topic. Mario sports games. A baseball, a soccer, a football. Yeah, obviously I'm desperate if I'm saying games that aren't going to exist. They're never making an American football. No, that's not happening. Hmm. Well, I've still got another minute or so to fill, so make sure you guys like drop down in the comments if I missed something you guys want. Let's cover if they make a new Star Fox game, should they bring back this Crystal character I've heard so much about? I'm still debating that myself. What art style should they use? Probably just their old one. But don't use your new one. No one's liking it. If they make another Smash Bros, what art style should they use? Just keep using the good old Smash art styles. Like, don't bother going out of your way to make Mario look like he's more cartoony just because that's what Nintendo wants. Like, don't go making Fox look realistic for the next Smash. Just make them look like how they used to look. Don't do anything huge. Well, I think that's about all I have to say. I say that as if I didn't say much. I mean, there's so much stuff they can put into this next game. This next year, really. I'm excited to see what they have to do. I think they're gonna do something great. Now, could they still completely do something that none of us want? Yeah. Very likely that they'll do something. And at this point, I was gonna mention WarioWare for like, I was like, hey, I could mention WarioWare. Oh wait, no. Pick the Nico or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's basically WarioWare, but for the phone and way too easy, and you have to pay way more money because they're gonna just keep updating it. And like I get they wanted to make it, but they might as well have just made a literal WarioWare game for the phone. And while I would love to see WarioWare, at this point I'm happy with a WarioWare Switch 2 edition or DLC. Because I want to see WarioWare come back. But sadly, I just don't see that happening with Pick the Nico having just come out. I only own one WarioWare game, but it was a good one. It had a slight story and it was fun. It was weird. It's how all of their games should be. Specifically WarioWare games, I mean. It's just weird knowing that we're probably not gonna get a WarioWare for forever because that was like just part of the franchise. It was just a piece of Nintendo. Now I know, you all want a Waluigi game. That's fine, but I know it would be interesting. I'm actually interested in if they made one, a Waluigi game, I would consider buying it. I'm interested in that idea and where they could go with it. Anyways, I don't think you guys want to hear much more. I'm already starting to hit topics of stuff that's definitely never happening, like Waluigi. Waluigi for Smash? No, that's never happening. Wow, another lonely piranha plant sitting here all by itself. Well, that was us until Nintendo popped up the other day and said, oh, hey, we're making a direct. Yesterday, they said that. I was like, oh, just like we all thought. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you liked it. If you've seen a few of my videos and you liked all of them, subscribe, you know. Like, never subscribe to someone based off of one video, in my personal opinion. Don't bother. Anyways, see y'all next time. Have a good week, month. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna put something on here is. Oh, one random idea. Mario plus Rabbids. Just saying, it could happen. Probably not though. Yeah. So, I'll see y'all next time, and that's it. I hope you all enjoy the direct tomorrow.